Key points. Donated resources can be used to assist with disaster response, and the monetary value represented by donated resources used for disaster recovery must be documented. In the aftermath of a disaster, we are generally overwhelmed by the tragedy that befalls a community. The humanity that rises from the rubble can often be overlooked. Various organizations step up and donate resources. Among those resources, we find volunteer labor, use of equipment, materials, and food. While PA funding is not provided for donated resources, the value of donated resources can be used to offset the non-federal cost share for eligible emergency work projects. North Carolina does not recognize volunteer labor hours when accounting for donated resources. For permanent work, the value of donated resources can be used to offset the non-federal cost share of that specific work project. Donated resources are ineligible as an offset toward the non-federal cost share if the resource is donated by a federal agency or another federally funded source, funded through a federal award, used as an offset to another federal award, used for ineligible work. Mutual aid is another type of donated resource. Mutual aid refers to support provided by another jurisdiction to help a subrecipient after a disaster. The mutual aid agreement will determine how reimbursement is processed. Like any other public assistance project, donated resources projects must be appropriately documented. Some of the documentation a subrecipient will need to submit includes sign-in rosters with individual names for tracking volunteer hours, the title and function of anyone providing professional services, an accurate count of the days and hours worked, the location and nature of the work performed, the name of any individual or organization who donated each piece of equipment, the quantity of materials used and their estimated value, the name of any individual or organization who donated materials or supplies, the location where donated materials or supplies were used, invoices and any other documentation that notes value of the donated supplies. This documentation can take on a variety of formats: a Google search screenshot, Amazon receipt, other estimates, or receipts work. Keep in mind that North Carolina does not recognize volunteer labor hours when accounting for donated resources, even though FEMA accounts for those hours. The offset value can be applied to the non-federal cost share. This value is calculated for both emergency and permanent work. For emergency work, the offset amount cannot exceed the total out-of-pocket costs of the projects and is capped at the total non-federal cost share. The offset amount is applied against the combined non-federal cost share for all emergency work projects. Emergency work donated resource projects are prepared as a Category B project. The donated resource project is not obligated until after all other emergency work projects are obligated. For permanent work, the offset amount is capped at the non-federal cost share of that specific project. The offset amount is applied against the non-federal cost share of the specific project the resources were donated for. The type and amount of resources donated must directly correlate to the type and amount approved in the scope of work of the project. Thank you for watching.